You may be curious to learn more about what is the guided metamorphosis, if it feels aligned, and if it's something that may be next on your path. So I invite you to maybe make some tea and join me here for a little bit of time. And you are always more than welcome to reach out with any questions. My name is Lindsey Frank, and I am a transformational guide guiding this experience together. So I wanted to share a couple things first about myself. I would encourage you to read my story on the About section on the website so you can learn a little bit more about me and why transitions and transformational work is really important to me, and all the different opportunities in my life, from being an educator, special educator, a district-wide coach for education. I guided a nonprofit and moved through that transition, developed my company, I've written books, lots of different experiences over time, as well as had amazing guides and mentors along the way on my path, which has allowed me the opportunity to share more with you and cultivate really powerful experiences. So how this started, it was really back in around November and December of 2025, where I created this, what I thought was one-time experience pop-up workshop called the 2026 Metamorphosis. And from that experience, it just continued to unfold further and further and further and guide further and further and further this work that I needed to do and bring forth in the world to really help open our hearts and the heart of humanity as a whole. And from the experience from the guided, at the time, the 2026 Metamorphosis, the transformations that happened, the messages that would come through, the group dynamics that continued to unfold and support each other. And really it became what people actually said was a life-changing experience. So I knew that it could not be a one-time only and that it needed to continue to grow and build further into now what I call the guided metamorphosis. And this is really an opportunity for anybody who's going through different life transitions. This may be something where you're feeling called to step into something bigger than maybe you are currently at, or a career change. It may be different identity shifts that are happening, or you might just really feel this part within you that knows that you've outgrown your current phase, this current part of your life, and you're ready for what's next. And these are really important, special moments on our path that invite us into our becoming, because we're always being guided, and it's up to us to really feel that pull of the heart. So through the guided metamorphosis, I share with you the steps of the path of the heart that bring us through to our transformation over time, our becoming. And, I've had clients that have been working on a transition into retirement. I've had clients who are advocates in the work that they do in diversity advocacy. I've had educators and leaders, just a lot of different backgrounds of people that connect. So really, if you are a heart-centered change maker, meaning you are somebody who really guides and leads from the heart, that you are here to make a difference and to cultivate change, whether those the small changes in life that then can ripple out into something big, or maybe some of you have really big visions that you are wanting to figure out how to bring them into this world. And I say figure out with just a little bit of a star there, because we don't need to have anything figured out. We may not even know what our next step is or what the path may bring for us. And that's exactly in an amazing space too, because this helps you to find the flow and follow it. Just like how the caterpillar trusts the process, the caterpillar chooses that chrysalis phase. That caterpillar then becomes this what are called imaginal cells in the chrysalis to eventually allow the wings to grow, form, break through, and eventually be able to fly. So I, as you can tell, with my company being the Butterfly Within and this being the Guided Metamorphosis, the butterfly is an incredible symbol and a guide for this work within change, and moves us through with, I don't want to say with ease, but it's easeful in understanding the change process. And so I want to walk through what this experience looks like, because I've never experienced anything like this, and it just came through me what the different layers are and phases are in the change process. And so this is something that's my signature approach that, like I shared, I haven't seen anyone else cultivate something like this. So I wanted to share with you what this looks like. So first, I like to share this as a cohort. I learned from one of my teachers, Anna Dea Judith, just the importance of not calling it a cohort. We're not going into battle for something. We are heart-centered connection. So we call this a cohort. And within the cohort, it's a group of 20 people at max. And so this is a really close connected space and supportive space throughout the entire experience. So phase one is that caterpillar phase, and that is that initial immersion workshop. So it's a full day workshop, and what that does is it prepares you, it prepares the conditions, and it also prepares the actions for your next steps that are calling your heart forward. So it's really this full embodied experience that supports the change process and becomes that seed for change. And then phase two becomes really that chrysalis moment. That's when, after the workshop, you're basically committing to coming inward to that chrysalis phase of change. And that phase two is when the container, right? Just like in the chrysalis, it's a container of transformation happens. So there's a group, through WhatsApp, there's a group connection. And that is where I share daily reflections to support you. And also not only just reflections, but resources, strategies, and also coaching is happening within that group space in the container that we have. So you also have the community support to help you take action towards your goals. Also in that container time in phase two, that's also where you have access to the group coaching calls as well. So you will be receiving the online support through that as well. Then for phase three, that is where it is called the Awaken Your Wings ceremony. And so after about our 30-day container, now I say about 30 days because it really depends on scheduling. It'll at least be 30 days. Some groups get a little bit more depending on schedule, but what really that is preparing us for closure. And closure not as an ending, not as in you must have had everything like completed at that time. It's closure of this part of that process that creates then that empowerment phase. So for phase three with the Awaken Your Wings ceremony, it's a time for us to reconnect as a group. It is online, and it is an opportunity to share gratitudes. It's an opportunity to now see what's next on that empowerment journey. And then from phase three is the last phase for phase four. And that's where really it becomes the butterfly effect catalyst phase, where as you are taking action towards your goals, as you are seeing your ripple effect into the world, you then have the opportunity to reconnect with me to share your story. And that's where I would love to feature your impact and your story. Now, within these phases, at least the required phase is the workshop, and all the others are, I don't really want to say optional, because this is a really intentionally cultivated experience, but everybody is at a different point in their journey. So you are able to engage how best aligns with your goals. And also all of the experiences that are then online after that in-person experience, all of those are recorded and then shared with you, so that if you're not able to engage live at those times, you still have access to the support that's there. And then I also want to mention, if you needed additional support outside of those 4 phases that are already included, I do have additional ways that you can work with me to continue to propel your goal forward. And that might be the catalyst sessions, where there are 2 sessions that really help you to, what they say, catalyze your actions. There's also an opportunity for long-term coaching, where basically about 3 months at a time, you are able to connect with me for more one-to-one individualized support. And then also, if there might be some different blockages that happen energetically, you also have the opportunity, if that is something that feels aligned with your goals, that you can reach out for the heart-centered energy healing experience too. So overall, there's a lot of different ways that we are able to help you to move forward on your path, on your goal. So what makes this experience different? Well, besides just the whole structure in itself, but really what makes this different is this is not a surface level experience. Unfortunately, it's also not a quick fix experience, though there might be times that this does propel things quicker. But if you are looking for a quick fix, or something that this is not the best fit for you, this is really for that deep inner work, this deep transformation, something that will last and be sustainable over time, and also something that then you embody. You know, I'm just here as a guide. I'm here to hold space. I'm here to help you to create those conditions. But ultimately, all of this is just a remembering of that purpose that is within you. And the other piece here is just the power of community. Like, the cohort is really an important part, and the support. We're not here alone doing this work. It's important for us to have a community. So since this is a deep experience, I also want to name some of the different feelings or even the energy blocks that come up, because when we are moving into the space of expanding our comfort zone and moving into that growth zone, different things start moving within us, and we like to be in a space of comfort. So then what happens are the different cross currents, the different blockages come up, and a lot of times prevent the action from being taken. So one, I want to just name that sometimes when you're in the space of change, right, you have to recognize that this is also a space that you are possibly feeling a little bit nervous, and there's uncertainty. There's a lot of trusting the process and a lot of patience. You also might be feeling throughout the process, you know, you are shifting a part of an identity. This is an identity level transformation. I'm not saying you're becoming someone new. You are remembering who you are, but we think that we've been all these things over time. And so then some of those old selves might start to transition, and there might be some sadness or even grief a part of that, because grief is still part of changing something that once was. So really supporting all of those different kinds of emotions. This also, when we're talking about change, is connected to vulnerability. So much so many times, and I've even felt this in my experience, that we feel like we have to change in secrecy, or you're not able to share like what that next level self is. And when we have to hide, then so often that blocks us from taking the next step too. So if you're in this community, this cohort space, and then you're set up for success, it allows you to be able to confidently embrace that next level and those next steps on your path. And allowing that safety to be able to speak your truth that maybe you've not been able to speak in other spaces before, and really holding that together in our heart space. Also, you might be thinking like, well, am I ready? Are we ever ready, right? Like, that's always the question that comes back, because so often we wait and wait and wait for the perfect time, the perfect budget, all those different things. But all what that is procrastinating who you get to be in the world. So you will know when you are ready, but the readiness is really that opportunity to commit to who you get to be, to really resonate with the heart, align with the heart, and have the confidence to stand into that power of who you are as a heart-centered change maker. And also, you might be thinking like, well, what if I don't know yet? What if I don't know what I need to do, or what I even want to be, or I don't know. You might feel that, and that's all a part of the process too, because by that question you're inviting what's next. Same thing where you might be like thinking about the investment. This might be a larger investment than you might initially feel comfortable with, and that really is a reminder about how investments are energy. And we want to have that alignment piece. And one of the first blocks that will typically almost always come up is that money block. Because when you invest in something, then that has to match that energy. And so when you invest in something that's a little bit larger within the self, then the energy inside kind of gets a little bit shaken, because it knows that something big is coming. So just know that if that is something in your heart that you're uncertain about, or that investment piece, know that there are potential partial payment plans. I can support in that, because I want to support you. But also I want to make sure that your soul and your heart are actually committing to the work. This is, again, something that has to have energy alignment with it. So those are some of the things that might be coming up, and please reach out if you have any other questions around those different layers. And so that brings us to here of the official invitation. You know, after spending our time together here, just know that you can find out more information on my website at thebutterflywithin.me/metamorphosis. And if from there, if you have any additional questions, like I shared, please reach out and ask. And if you're uncertain and just really want to talk through some things, please reach out. On my website, you'll find a button in a couple areas that will say request to join. So if this is resonating with you, really just tune into the heart space, because your heart will know. Your heart always knows. So you'll press that button, and then there's a short request form there. And what that allows me to do is just to do a cross check to make sure that there is alignment there, and also to make sure that you feel comfortable moving forward. So I look forward to the opportunity to have you a part of the next cohort together for that guided metamorphosis. And I'll invite us to, just for a few moments here, to just close together. So wherever you may be, maybe sitting back or sitting tall, just having an opportunity to set that intention and just feel within the heart space. So perhaps feeling the body where it may be, noticing maybe the feet on the ground or where your seat may be. Feeling fully present here. Maybe the eyes will close, maybe they'll look somewhere nearby. Perhaps even placing the hands on the heart, or maybe one on the heart, one on the abdomen, and just feel. Connecting to the rhythm of your heart, the rhythm of your breath. Feeling how this rhythm creates ripples that come out from the heart, out into the world. Just feeling what it would feel like to be fully connected to your purpose, fully connected to who you are becoming. And just feel in the body, perhaps a smile with gratitude. And taking a collective breath in as you're ready to seal it in. And an exhale out to ripple it out, that impact as a butterfly effect catalyst in the world. And on an inhale, as you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes if they were closed. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to having the opportunity to connect with you soon. Thank you for being you.